All right, so we rigged this up, a better indicating system on the surfacer. Hang loose and we'll get into what we did. So this thing never came with any kind of way to indicate whatever it is that you're trying to machine in. So I made this rig here that bolts where the cutting tool bolts, and then we just use the head to sweep the part, and it works fine. There ain't no problem. It's just not as user friendly as I would like for it to be. So one of my friends on Facebook, they got the same surfacer and he sent me a picture of a rig like this, and this is real similar to what they made. And so me and Andrew stopped yesterday, and he cut up all the material for me, and I machined all this up and tigged it together, and we got it on yesterday and got it all indicated in. And so what we done is, this is just some, I think that's 3" by half flat bar, and this is some 1.5" quarter wall tubing, and then this was a piece of 3 by 3 angle iron, and Andrew just took the cutoff wheel and just cut us some angles just to get the bulk of the material out of the way. And then I put this in the mill, and then I faced this area, and then I just cut a slot, and I took some aluminum and I just made me an indicator mount that I could just drop in and be able to, you know, just quickly slide back and forth on a head or a block or the BHJ fixture, whatever we're doing. And this is not the indicator we're going to use. I got a 2" travel indicator coming, which will be way taller. And then I got like a 3/4 diameter, full radius contact pointer to go on the end. That way it can't fall into like coolant holes and stuff. But that's going to just make it, let me jack it up so you can see it a little better. But I was just indicating it in on the parallel just to make sure I had it straight with the machine. But it's definitely gonna make life a lot easier, especially like when we indicating decks in or indicating the BHJ fixture in. It'll just be just super nice. But like I say, you know, it holds itself in place, and then, you know, when you're not using it, you can just pull it off, and I'm gonna make some kind of little old bracket or something to set it in so it's out of the way. But and one reason, or maybe more than one reason, that I'm showing this is I get emails all the time, and people are asking me what to do. They want to open a shop, or they opened a shop, or they're gonna open a shop, or they bought a shop, and they're trying to, you know, figure out plan B. And I think I mean, there's 100 ways to do it, but if you have limited resources, your friend is being frugal. And of course, you know, we could have had somebody make all this stuff and, you know, blah blah blah, but we have the you know, and most people, whether they know it or not, have the capability to make this stuff in-house. It's not rocket science. I mean, if I can do it, you can do it. And I think that people get maybe overwhelmed with, you know, it's just too much. And sometimes you just got to stop, pause, take a breath, and say, what do we need to do today? And I've been, this little project has been in the back of my mind for 6 months. And every time that I indicate a block in, I'm like, God, I tell Andrew, we got to make that indicating system. And so yesterday morning, we just stopped and I'm like, that's it, we're gonna do that today. And so we didn't do no work, we just worked on this deal, and we got it built, and we got it installed, and it's good. But you can do it, and I think I'm gonna address it maybe in another origin, because we got at least one more part, but I feel confident there's probably 2 or 3 more parts to the origin story video. And I think we'll talk about some of that stuff, because you know, I don't know that I'm qualified to give you advice, but people keep asking me for it. So I'm gonna give my best effort on, you know, how I done it, and how I maybe, now that I've done it and been through the whole system, how I would have done it differently had I had the information that I have today 20 years ago. So, you know, keep that in mind. But again, I mean, I wanted to show that. I thought that was really neat. But I think this all ties in with, you know, the amount of people that's asking, you know, how, when, and where, because, you know, you don't have to buy millions of dollars worth of fixtures. You can make it. For instance, you know, and this ain't anything to BHJ. They wonderful folks, and they trying to make a living just like everybody else. But we bought, you know, at an auction or something, we bought the BHJ block true system, and it was just the block true plate and the cones and the threaded rod that go in the cam tunnel, and that was all that was there, but it was all brand new. So instead of, we called BXJ, and the saddles were, I don't remember, they were a lot of money. And then the 2-inch bar was a lot of money. I wasn't gonna buy the 2-inch bar anyway. And then the rings, like, what'd you do with the main rings? Are they in the box? And like, let me grab some. Yep, like the main rings that go in the main bores that the 2-inch bar sets on. All of this stuff, we made every bit of it. And you know, I don't remember exactly how long it took me, but I made these on a manual mill, a pair of them. You can indicate them in, and they're within half a thousandths on height. So they're accurate, they're good, they'll last me probably the rest of my life. So having said all of that, you know, I could have spent a couple of $2,000 or $3,000 at the store, or I spent a day and made all of this stuff. I mean, if you've got a lathe, it don't have to be the nicest one on the planet, but if you got a lathe, you can make these all day long. Matter of fact, I mean, you can leave the bore, you know, 1,000 small, and most automotive machine shops is gonna have a rod hone, and you can hone the ID till you get it just to slip on your bar. And it's just like, for what most places want for the 2-inch precision bar, you can call a steel supplier and buy a whole length of 2-inch TGMP is what it's called, turn ground polished. And that's what we do. We just buy, I mean, we buy it for a lot of jobs that we do, industrial stuff. But you know, on an order, when I ordered steel, you know, I just ordered a whole stick, a 2-inch TGMP, and it come in. We cut the length that we needed, put it in the lathe, cleaned up the ends, chamfered them, and boom, it's done. And now we got a 2-inch bar forever. And then we needed a 2-inch bar for the, we need a 2-inch bar here, and we need a 2-inch bar for the seat and guide machine where we do lifter bushings. So now we got enough material that we can probably make 4 or 5 bars. So, you know, that's all I'm saying is, you know, don't let it overwhelm you. There's ways to do stuff that's not $1 million, and I always try to look for those ways and make it. If we can make it, we make it every time, all the time. It's not. It's not cheaper to make it in-house. Sometimes you can have somebody else make it or buy it, sometimes. But a lot of times it's just cheaper to make it. But anyway, that was the thought for today, and I just figured I'd share that with you. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one.